So this is Congaree National Park. It is in South Carolina, and just take a look around. Doesn't it look humid? Oh my goodness, it sure felt humid. And want to talk about those mosquitoes? Oh my gosh, those mosquitoes, they were something else. So I was walking fast. The faster I walked, it seemed they weren't bothering me. The second I stood still, oh, they found me. No question about it. So this is in the heart of South Carolina. As you can see as you zoom around and take a look around, it's just a land of towering trees. It also has some wetlands. It's a little drier where we're standing at right now, but this has been around, and the water trails around this part of South Carolina have been used by people for over 10,000 years. You know what's interesting about a lot of these trees is the bald cypress. See, the tree's broad base and that complex root, you see it? Look at those roots right there. Let's go for a little walk so we can see a little bit more as we chat. You see a lot of those roots standing up, and that's how some of these trees just spring themselves up below. What's interesting is those little things sticking up, they're called knees. And what they ultimately do is they help to stabilize some of those giant bald cypress trees. They're considered champion trees, the largest of their kind in the state of South Carolina and even the nation for that matter. As we keep walking down this boardwalk, which goes on for about 2.5 miles in the park, just look how dry it is. What's really interesting is for most of the year, it actually is pretty dry, even though what we're looking around, what we're seeing is a floodplain. Then after some heavy rain, guts, which are just small water channels, and low areas, they begin to fill with some water. Certainly not the case today. And the Cedar Creek, which is just right out of the picture, it spreads among all these trees right here. Then, when there's major flooding, waters can rise fast and high, especially when Cedar Creek and the Congaree River overflow. You know, it's really interesting as we look around right here because this is completely different from something we would see in Pennsylvania, particularly how we're seeing those knees of the trees sticking up right there, and also around the bottom of the trees, just how wide they really are. And it makes sense. When the land is really muddy and it's really wet, it'd be easy for these top heavy trees to fall over. So that bigger, wider root system just helps anchor them in the soil when it does get wet.